Hello everyone, welcome back to Sawyer Studios, and I'm doing something that I've never done before. For those of you who don't know, the early Christians, they would go to church every single day. It wasn't just a Sunday thing, it was an everyday thing. And, as we've gone throughout history, it's sort of morphed into just a Sunday thing, but every Catholic and Orthodox church holds a service every single day. There are daily masses. So I thought, hey, I'm gonna go to daily mass 7 days this week, Monday through Sunday. Today's Monday, August 2nd. And I was like, I'm going to see if anything just changes out. Like, if I feel spiritually, but I'm expecting to be, partaking in the Eucharist for 7 days straight. So yeah, that's sort of like what I'm doing. And I'm going to be recording pretty much like my thoughts and stuff as I go. But I'm here, 7 in the morning, daily mass, Monday. Let's go. So this is my church. His exaltation of his Holy Cross Parish, or exaltation of his, it's beautiful. It is beautiful inside, so can't wait to show you. I kid you not, the week I was gonna do daily mass. There's no weekday mass Monday through Friday of this week, and there's no Wednesday evening devotion, and there's no Friday adoration. All right, well, we're gonna do it next week. Okay, next week. There we are. So, hello everyone, welcome back to Sawyer Studios with a little organ interlude. And yeah, so this is actually day 2, and as you saw in the first part of this video, the church wasn't doing daily mass last week, but so they started on Saturday. So I went yesterday. Yesterday was actually when I recorded the most recent Nate and Bake. So I went Saturday, and then I went today, Sunday. So this is day 2, technically speaking, of partaking in the Eucharist. And so we're going to continue. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday are going to be the hard ones to wake up for, because they start at 7 a.m. So I'm going to have to wake up at like 6. So yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to do it 2 days in a row, partaking in the Eucharist. Yeah, I feel great. The hymns today were just so good. Like I definitely feel like I feel like the same fulfillment as I would on any I guess like Sunday mass. So I'm really looking forward to seeing, I don't know, like what's it going to do to my spiritual walk. I guess like just how it's going to affect me on a spiritual level, physical, emotional, mental, all that stuff. So I'll be journaling all of that throughout this week. So I will see you tomorrow morning, bright and early, 7 a.m. All right, good morning, everyone. It is Monday. It is 6:52. And yeah, so I woke up. We're here. Very sleepy and exhausted, but we are here nonetheless. It's raining. It's a beautiful day though. It's very foggy actually, and I think my front camera's a little foggy as well. But yeah, here is the church. Church has been around here for a while. I don't think there is a date on the outside. I just don't know where it is. But anyway, yeah. Weekday masses, I guess I can talk a little about it as we're walking by. Weekday masses are older Christian tradition that, Christians would go to church every single day, which kind of made more sense with saying the Lord's Prayer, give us this day our daily bread. It was very much connected to the Eucharist. But yeah, it's definitely shorter. Homilies are shorter, which are the sermons. the cantors are usually not here because to have cantors come in 7 days a week is a lot. But yeah, this is the door, and let's go in and begin to math. All right, everyone. Well, that was Weekday Mass. So, I guess, let me turn the camera on. Eucharist is served every single day. Some of the creeds aren't said. Unfortunately, we don't have cantors throughout each week, so, there's no music or organ. But I think that, it makes Sunday a little bit more special because it is the Sabbath. But yeah, it was good. I definitely feel like I'm starting off the day well. It's sort of like having spiritual coffee. It's like it's a good jump start, spiritual caffeine. Anyway, yeah, I see you all tomorrow morning. Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, 6:30 in the morning. 4th day in a row. I'm actually surprised I've been waking up this early successfully. I did realize something. I have been feeling more sense of peace this week. And also I feel like, I don't know, there's been like a couple conversations I've had with people in which I feel like at some points it would have been hard for me to either extend grace or patience, or maybe just even some optimistic words, or just like, I didn't know what to say. And I feel like those conversations have been abnormally good. I don't know. Maybe that's nothing. Maybe that's just a coincidence. Probably. But I do feel like I have felt like a tangibleness, like more of God's grace recently, and I wonder if that's going to continue. So, just my thoughts. There we are.
Will supply and multiply your seed and increase the harvest of your righteousness. The word of the Lord.
Thanks be to God. Today was I believe the feast day of St. Lawrence, who is a 1st century bishop, I believe, or at least an early century bishop. But it was a good homily. It was just a reiteration of his story. But I love hearing stories of martyrs, of the saints, because it reminds me of a life that I could also live. And it also reminds me of things I could do in my life to become more like Christ. And so that was a really good message today. This is day 5. And Wednesday, thank goodness Wednesday Masses are in the evening, because waking up that early was really hard. Except Thursday and Friday, I'll still have to do it. But I have my Bible this time because I'm remembered that daily Masses, they don't have the verses written in, like verbatim, in the missals and stuff. So, but they do have like where to find them written in the missals for every single day of the year. So I'm prepared this time, got my Bible, we're all good. Yeah, I'm heading in 30 minutes early because this particular church does a special 30-minute devotion time to prayer before Wednesday Masses. And so, technically you can do your own devotions, like usually every Catholic church, at least before COVID, was unlocked. And so you can just go in there and pray whenever. But this has like a special devotions. I've never been to it, so I'm excited to see what it is. So here we go. My favorite thing. It was a really good daily mass, and they had some piano too. Really nice. Really good. Wow. It was, yeah, like just a great, really good message. Today we were talking about Saint Francis and Saint Clare, and it's a really good reminder of their story, and just both of them gave up, like, both of them, I think the story is, at least for Saint Clare, she came from a very wealthy family. She gave it all up to live in poverty and to help the poor in her area, and just like, a good reminder of not being attached to earthly possessions and treasures. And then the devotion right before we all prayed like the rosary together, the joyful mystery. So that was also nice. I think that was the first time I prayed the rosary with shut up, with a group of people. So that was also really nice to do before service. So yeah, going again tomorrow, Thursday morning. See you bright and early once again. It's Thursday morning, everyone. It's raining. Not gonna lie, not doing so hot this morning. But that's why we're at church. Yeah, that's really it. So, don't really have anything else to say. Stay tuned till after. I don't think there's ever been a time where I needed to go to Mass more. The devotion time before the message was good, and I needed all of that. I needed to start this day with that. Yeah. I needed that. Alright, everyone, today is Friday, and once again, bright and early, 7 a.m. Feeling good today. And yeah, I'm excited for Mass. After Friday Masses, there's up until like noon, like time of devotion and stuff like that. So I'm very, very excited to just stay and pray after. So it'll be good stuff. So, what you just saw was adoration, where the priest takes the thing that was a circle between the candles, which I forget its actual name, but he places one of the blessed hosts inside, which is Jesus. And then we do a prayer together, and then we just sit in Jesus's presence, and it's really beautiful. That was actually the first time I ever went to an adoration, so yeah. Usually there's a separate adoration chapel. I don't think this church has one, because I feel like we would have done it in that if there was, but yeah. Dude, I have goosebumps sitting just praying in the presence of Jesus is like the coolest things ever. I mean, we are technically always in the presence of Jesus, but to be like, I guess, in a more tangible sense of the presence of Jesus, that was, I don't know, I felt a peace wash over me. Today's day 7 of going to mass in a row, and I'm not gonna lie, after doing 9 days, so tomorrow and Sunday, I might make this just a habit, going to mass every day. I'll talk about this, I guess, at the end of the video, but like, just my thoughts right now, at least I've felt, oh no, I feel like God has really blessed me. Like, my mental state, I mean, this week has been rough, and I think if I hadn't been going to mass every day, receiving God's grace through the Eucharist, like, I don't know if I'd be able to, how well I would have been able to handle this week. But no, I definitely have been more at peace. It definitely is the safest place I can feel. Yeah, I don't know, this might be, I might just keep doing this. This might become just a thing that I do. Alright, now I need to go to the store and buy Oreos and apple juice for my friend Rod. Alright everyone, it's Saturday, day 8, going to mass in a row, and I'm here early again. Saturday night, so there's gonna be like organ and choir and stuff like that, so it's gonna feel more grand than the weekday ones, but still the same substance. And I'm really excited to be nearing the end of this journey with all of you. And yeah, here we go, Saturday evening mass. We sang some really good music in mass today, like really good, yeah, really good music. Oh, so good. Yeah, tomorrow is actually tomorrow's the Assumption of Mary. If you're wondering why that's a thing, I'd love to make an entire video on it. So, comment down below if you don't know why we believe that, but it's all scripturally based, don't worry. But yeah, it's just such beautiful music today, such great dedicate. Yeah, So good. I love it. All right. See you tomorrow morning, Sunday. All right, everyone. It's day 9, and what a beautiful day to be ending this video on. And also, happy Assumption of Mary Day. So, yeah. Such a beautiful day out. I cannot wait to go to this mass. This is rare because it's a special day. The vigil readings and homily is different than the Sunday one. So usually Saturday and Sunday services are the same. In this case, I am getting a totally new message, totally new gospel and Bible readings and all that stuff. So I'm really excited to be finishing off this video with you all 9 days in a row, and then the recap will come at the very end of this video. So I guess I don't know if I'll see you after mass. I might just tell you about my experience. And so yeah, see you in a couple seconds. All right, everyone, thank you so much for coming along with me on that 9-day journey. And so I just want to take this time right now and just reflect, I guess, on the past 9 days. And I'm going to try to be as unbiased as possible. Like, if I didn't see a difference in a certain area, I'm not going to say I did. And the reason why I did a video every day was to show, I guess, like how I was feeling in the moment. So you didn't just come to this. So I was trying to be transparent. I hope you can see that. Yeah, going to mass every single day. So as a Catholic, we believe that the mass, first of all, going to mass, you're not going to watch. It's not entertainment. It's not for you to sit back, relax, and listen. The entire mass is meant to be a prayer. It's one of the greatest forms of prayer that we can do, and it's so powerful because we do it in community. And we also, there's also the Eucharist, and there's a lot of stuff within the mass that's amazing, that glorifies God. But it's kind of reminded me, not gonna lie, I sort of had almost the same feeling when I was doing this program called Exodus 90, which it's sort of like Lent, except instead of, I think it's just 40 days, it's 90 days instead. But it reminded me of that program that I did when I first was, before I became Catholic, but I was still looking into becoming Catholic. I did this with my friend Tyler. And essentially, it was, we would, for part of it, there's a lot of disciplinary and asceticism, but part of it was you would pray a holy hour every single day. And I first thought that, I was like, a holy hour? An entire hour of prayer? That's insane. Who has time for that? And then I started scheduling it into my day, and I was like, oh, I do have time for it. It's just it's just other times I would just let's just watch YouTube, or let's just, I don't know, take a nap, or let's watch a movie, or I don't know, call someone. And if you think about it, I have some friends who I love to talk to. I make time for them at least once a week. I have some friends I talk to every day. If I'm truly going to say God's my best friend, how much time do I set aside for him? And if I don't set any time aside, is he really my best friend? You wouldn't say, oh yeah, this guy's my best friend, but I only talk to him maybe 5 minutes every day, if that. I only talk to him on Sundays. He's my, I feel like that's, just kind of shows, it reveals a lot. So I started doing a holy hour during that Exodus 90 every single day. And, for the starters, oh my gosh, an hour of prayer, how am I going to do that? And it eventually got to the point where it no longer felt like an obligation. It actually felt like I was excited to do a holy hour. I was excited to spend all this time with Jesus, with God, in prayer, whether that was Lectio Divina, or praying the Litany of Trust or Humility, or the Rosary, or something. And so going to Mass, and I've also found myself this week, I would show up 30 minutes early, pray a Rosary, sent to myself, and then we'd do Mass, and it felt very similar. I felt that same sort of freedom, internal freedom, that I did praying a holy hour every day. And not only that, you're starting your day off with prayer, with Jesus, with partaking in the Eucharist, which is great. And from a Catholic perspective, you are being granted just the grace to go through your day living it out for Christ by partaking in that Eucharist. And that's a great way to start. It gives you the power. It's way better than caffeine. It's like the spiritual caffeine to keep you going. I have also noticed that this particular week, and there is a distinct change. I'm not making this up. This summer, I think I went to confession at least once a week. Like it was, this summer was a summer of compared to other summers, not as bad. But I did recognize that, temptation was rough this summer, with certain things, whether it be like, you should lie about this, and some things seem like small white lies, but in the grand scheme, it's still a sin. But like, there was some stuff this summer that I did have to go to confession to a lot, like on a weekly basis. And it was hard. It was hard to continue. It was hard to try to push forward, and by God's grace, of course, and through His strength, and not sin. But this entire week, I haven't had to go to confession once. And whenever temptation has come around this week in particular, I've said no. And so this isn't me like bragging. This isn't me saying how good I am, because I'm not. It's only by God's grace and His mercy that I was able to get through this week like that. But like His grace, like sacraments are the tangible vessels in which God provides us His grace. Like grace isn't some metaphysical thing, like, oh wow, God's grace is so good. Like God's grace there's sanctifying grace. Like the Bible talks about grace as a very tangible thing, a tangible gift that we can have, that God gives us. Like I feel like sometimes we just say, oh yeah, I'll be praying for God's grace. It's like, well, what do you like? Do you know what grace is? And grace is essentially the gift from God, the power and strength that He gives us to be imitators of Him. We cannot love our enemies. Like we cannot pray for those who persecute us. We can't turn the other cheek without God's grace. Like we physically can't. Because in order to do those acts are supernatural forms of love. You have natural forms of love, like anyone can do it. Like I can love someone who loves me. Yeah, Jesus says in the Gospels, even the world does that. But the world will know you because you will also love your enemies. And the world doesn't do that. And so how can we have the ability to do that? Well, it's only because of God's grace that we were able to supernaturally love. It's God working through us. And we have to, ask for His graces, accept His graces, and then use His graces. And so the Eucharist is one of the ways that is a direct line to receiving God's graces. Grace for us to be able to do supernatural acts of love. And so, this week, I've genuinely felt strengthened by God, turning away from sin, not falling into temptation, not losing my temper, etc. Like, as you saw in the video, there were some days where it was just hard. I've had some hard conversations this week, and I don't think I would have been able to get through it, nor have held my composure, or have known what to say if it wasn't for going to Mass every single day. Like, being able to be constantly in, starting my every day with prayer, and then once again, starting every day with the Eucharist, with my daily bread that God provides for me. And it's changed my outlook. I've also been happier, like more optimistic. Take that as you will. That could totally be a coincidence, I completely understand. But nonetheless, I have been more at peace this week. And, being able to be in prayer. Today is the Assumption of Mary. And today we start the 54-day novena prayer, journey. So I will be doing that. I'm actually really excited to be doing that. If any of you are Catholic, I suggest that you do start the 54-day novena, and then look up the prayers that go along with it, because it is beautiful and so powerful. There's also that. And so, I guess to conclude this video is, going to Mass every day did change me, and I do want to keep doing it for the rest of this summer and for the rest of the school year. I want to wake up early and start my day off with Mass. I think it will genuinely improve my mental health. I felt better mentally and emotionally. I didn't feel a difference physically. Like, I just didn't. Like, there were days I was still tired. Like, there wasn't a physical change. That might change within the next week, so there might not. You don't know. But emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, a whole lot. I felt a huge upward climb in that change. Positive outlook everywhere. So, yeah, if you're Catholic, your church, your parish, look up on the website, find out when their daily masses are. I highly suggest going to every single daily mass for a week. And just try for a week. You don't have to dedicate a year to doing it, but just try for 1 week. And I hope that you find how beneficial it is, and I hope after you try for a week, you also determine, all right, I'll incorporate some of this. And it doesn't have to be every day. Like, going to Mass 2 days a week, Sunday and Wednesday, having that halfway point to remind you to be able to partake in the Eucharist, and also to remind you just to go home, to be in the presence of Jesus in the Eucharist is also very powerful. And I will say, even just going to Mass last year on Sundays and Wednesdays, that helped me sin less a heckin' lot. Like, it really, there are things we can do that will help us not sin. And do not let the devil trick you into falling into this trap of, oh, I'm a sinful being, I'm going to sin anyway, what's the point, God will forgive me anyway, etc. God will forgive you, but the whole purpose of being a Christian is to live apart from sin. Now, are we going to fall? Yeah, probably, but it's not a guarantee, because let's say that I died tomorrow, and this entire day, I'm tempted and stuff, and I say no. That means, technically, until I died, since my last repentance, I didn't sin. And so we should treat every single day as if it's our last. Like, push to the finish line. And temptation will come, and some days we will fail. But do not let failure, and do not let going into sin be a guarantee in your mind, because Jesus is here to free you. And I don't think we understand how powerful the crucifixion is, the resurrection is. Resurrection in particular. Crucifixion was to pay the price for our sins. Resurrection was to bring us to new life. And if we truly want new life, we should strive in a mindset in which we believe that we can have new life. And that is important to note. And so, ways that we can receive God's graces: sacrament of reconciliation, sacrament of the Eucharist, prayer, fasting, almsgiving, all these things, making pilgrimages even to places. All of these things we can do to gain God's grace, which is free. His grace is free. But in order for us to utilize it, to accept it, to actually harness it into our hearts, we have to learn to pray. We have to learn to be faithful children of God. And so I pray that we all continue, me included, definitely, I need it, continue to strive after the grace of God, so that He can continue to strengthen us and empower us to live lives apart from sin. Because that's the goal of life, is to live apart from sin. Now, obviously, that's a goal that is, I guess you could say, impossible. But Jesus also calls us to be imitators of Christ, and to fully imitate Christ is impossible as well. But He still calls us to it. And when Jesus says, "Go and sin no more," yeah, we probably will sin again, but He still commands it. And so we have to accept that Jesus calls us to impossible things, and the only way we're ever going to do the impossible is only through Him and by His strength. So stay in prayer. Treat Jesus like He's actually your best friend. Set time aside. You go out to lunch with a friend to catch up for an hour. Catch up with Jesus for an hour, but don't catch up. Like, make it an everyday thing. Go to Mass, partake in the Eucharist. Go to confession if you haven't gone to confession in a while. Jesus is calling you there.
truly. So yeah, that is my reflection and experience on going to Mass for 9 days this week. I feel really good. So thank you for watching. This is Source Studios Questions in Catholicism. Not really a question today, but just like a experiment video. Very thankful that you're all here. God loves you. Pray that He blesses you, keeps you, and yeah. See you on the next video. Peace.